way of saying coastline there that in some way matched up with Yevler, but I really can't do it.
That, honestly, Des, is a reach. I know you did well with the fishing puns earlier, but trying to work Yevler into coastline, I think that might be a bit of a stretch.
Just a little bit, so we'll keep it plain and simple. Empire, DAMWON Kia, coastline, that's all you gotta know. Nomad the first ban away by Team Empire. We've seen a few Nomad bans coming through today, to be fair.
We have. It's becoming a little bit more popular, and we saw it have a big impact earlier as well. You know, the Nomad banned out. We saw then teams getting hit on the flank, and Operators just being able to come back in and find those kills in the late round. So Nomad going, Lion going as well.
They banned this yesterday against Furia, and Furia banned DKB, if I remember correctly. So we saw Lion and DKB both taken away. I can't remember if I was casting that game with you. It might have been blue.
I think it was blue, that one. Yeah, I didn't do Furia DAMWON Kia.
Oh, mate, you missed out. What can I say?
Anytime I miss out on casting Furia, I always feel like I've missed out.
I just had to sit down, have a little lie down, have a rest, you know, do all the things that old men have to do these days.
Needed my little midday nap. Got to keep the energy up somehow, Des.
Honestly, mate, you bounce away for fun, it feels like, throughout the day.
There's no nap in here, absolutely no rest. I'm just like a little ball of energy all day long when we're in the group stages, when we're in the playoffs. It doesn't matter to me, Des. If there's a game of Siege in front of me, I am excited, ready to go. The energy's up, and it is no different for this one. Team Empire, DAMWON Kia. Now then, Team Empire played Furia earlier on today, Des. Let's be honest, they were getting knocked around a little bit. They were getting beaten up by Furia, but they were able to steady themselves. They were able to right the ship, and they were able to fight their way back to a good victory. Have Empire finally woken up? They're not coming to coastline for a relaxing break away from things, Des. They're coming here to do some business. They're looking to take the points from DAMWON Kia and keep themselves in the fight. The last thing Empire want to do is go to bed tonight knowing that one team in this group is already secured in the playoffs, because it means they're scrapping for just one spot.
We did say earlier on today we expect most of these groups will be not entirely made up, but you'll know which team is going through. Rogue, for an example, are already through. They know they're making it through to playoffs. An amazing achievement, and I saw some conversation on Twitter about this earlier on. How long has it been since Rogue as an org has made it out of groups at a major? You're looking 2, 3, maybe even 4 years ago, back towards the stream days.
I think Leon said it was Raleigh.
Yeah, no, he was wrong.
Was he wrong? Yes. I was just I've been half keeping up with the conversation on social.
He's a noodler on that team. He ain't got a clue about the history of Rogue. Who do you think he is?
I mean,
Aces was the only player that was on the team at the time they last made it out of groups at a major. That goes to show you just how long ago it is and how much rebuilding Rogue have done since those days. Always, though, being a bit cheeky to start things off and looking to match DAMWON Kia early into the building, but not enough that he's doing the true DAMWON Kia style of throwing himself out of a window. Instead was looking more to try and meet us, that, and he's going to do just that, but misses the man, doesn't even land a single shot, and has now got to find his way back inside the building, given some support by Dan, and is away safely. So fortunate to not lose his life, and unfortunate to not connect. So I think, in fact I lie, I think he caught onto Rin a little bit, but obviously not enough to scare him off, because he's already back to full HP after a bit of juicing coming in from Yas.
They can't always work out, Des. You can't always get your man every single time. Sometimes you are going to find that situation where you have to sort of just try and get yourself back into the map as best you can and continue on in the round. Now then, 1 minute gone. No kills yet in the first round. Team Empire defending Hooker and Billiards, but they've got a couple of players still out on the roam there. We've got the Malusi, we've got the Mute. And they are looking to do a job, Sidra and Always at the minute, trying to be a nuisance and keep themselves active. I mean, the thing is, you've got to remember, there is a Nitro in the hands of Sidra. If he's allowed to play underneath, he could be a big factor here with a nice denial. Look at them positioned underneath, in office, blue bar. They're there ready to challenge onto this plant spot.
The Piranha Pit waiting for them from below. The first snap comes up, pairing away at the heels, but not enough to finish anyone off, of course. Yas, a little bit too far away from the explosive in that case. 5 versus 5, let's not forget, with about 80 seconds remaining, is still plenty of time for many things to change. If this were the final 20 seconds, different conversation. Scyther still holding on the downstairs. The first call ringing out from Woogieman lets them know there are indeed a couple of threats playing on the downstairs. What a nade to get rolled through the floor. Finds Scyther for 3 as another C4 comes out and nothing connects. Great passage of play coming out of DAMWON Kia.
I tell you what, that's backed Empire off, hasn't it? That nade comes in and all of a sudden, Always on the Malusi, just dipping back as well. Not too keen to take any part of that action. Katsang looking to add a little bit of pressure from VIP. That's exactly what he does. He takes some chips off the shoulder of Shepard there, shut down by Joystick. 4 versus 4 time is starting to run down. Rin getting super aggressive right out into the corridor. Finds one, looking to get another. Woogie Man with a double. 3 versus 1 quartered, getting the diffuser down, and DWG Kia coming out as big as they have been throughout the entire tournament. There's 1v3 now for always. The plant has been secured. There's a mountain of work ahead of him.
I think now he knows surely that Woogie's got dropping off, tries to go out for the spray down, but can't quite find the man. Always in a 1 versus 3. Sometimes some things just aren't able to be saved, and this round is very quickly starting to look like one of them. 22 seconds on the clock. It gives him 15 to find 3 kills, and then starts sticking the disable with no breaks in between. Sees the long angle. Yes, with the shutdown, it was a trade at the very end. But either way you look at it, DWG Kia with a fantastic first round, dealing with the threat below from above without having to go down and match them, getting the plants off, and a wonderful bit of classic APAC aggression to push through, with Rin doing exactly as you're seeing here, charging forward and finding a couple of kills.
I'm not sure about Empire's defense on that round. I've got to be honest. 3 players down in Office and Blue Bar, leaving themselves really light on site. You know, yes, there is absolutely room for vertical play, for vertical denial on Hooker and Billiards. No two ways about that. But do you need 3 down there? How effective can 3 players be through those vertical angles? You know, 2, I can make an argument for. You've got 1 there to play the vertical denial. You've got 1 there as their handler, for want of a better phrase, to look after them, basically, to prevent them from being pushed through security or through Blue Bar. You've got them there to make the challenge. The other can focus on the vertical. Beyond that, I think you're sort of wasting manpower a little bit. And the more people you cram into that space, the more likely somebody is to, I don't know, roll a nade through the floor and pick one of you up.
It's a very strange way to die when you're playing on the downstairs, admittedly, and I don't hate the fact they played downstairs. I quite like that as an alternative.
It's fine. I think it was just too much.
I mean, think about the norm, right? Most people will have someone staying on the single reinforced wall between sides, and they'll peek out towards the right-hand side to contest onto the default plant spot. That's always going to get contested by the player on hookah windows. So a nice couple of cute changes coming in, just ultimately not being executed well, and DWG Kia, I think, showing, like I've said so many times about them over the last 2 days, they can go from 1st gear to 5th gear incredibly quick. They don't mind going really slow like they were around luggage, for example. Back in, back out, let the C4s come through. Don't worry about getting too quick. As soon as they see an angle to go into 5th gear, Rin is charging through the site. It makes them so hard to predict, and you can't get a feel as a defender for the flow of a round when DWG Kia go between 1st gear and 5th that often. I think that's what's made them so difficult for some teams to deal with.
Rin pushing in through VIP here. Going to be attacking onto Blue Bar, so DWG Kia looking for that vertical control to begin with. Now, interestingly, there's one of the Empire players. It's going to be Shepard, just trying to creep his way up Cool Vibe stairs here. I don't think he's been picked up by a drone, but he is on the smoke, Des. He's got the shotgun in hand. He's just not really poised for any sort of long-range engagement there. So his impact is going to be sort of limited until DWG Kia look to try and push down those Cool Vibe stairs, should they do so. If they haven't moved Shepard there, then certainly could be a bit of a problem. I think Courted is aware of his location. Shepard is playing it quite tentatively. So he's worrying me, Des. I want to see him move away. They need those toxic bait canisters.
I was about to say, you say worried, but they don't know that he was there because he was stood on the mute jammer. It, of course, cancels out the call instantly coming in from the Decabi, which means they had no idea he was at the bottom of these stairs. But with that spray that came through the hookah wall from Cool Vibes, that immediately lets DWG Kia know, oh, there's a guy playing at the bottom or at least halfway up Cool Vibes. Drones can come through, which is exactly what you're seeing coming in here from Woogie. Good response from DWG Kia, playing it by the book and doing it the right thing. Speaking of the book, well, as you know, the skeleton keep firing away. There's no kills coming in for Katsang, but there is a couple trading back and forth. It's Empire that come out on top, though, with 2 kills, bringing us into that 4 versus 3 situation with about 60 seconds still to play.
Empire certainly taking control of this round, but DWG Kia, they've got the time to do what they need to do. They just need to find themselves a couple of kills. The Thinkaboo's just wearing off there, and the 3 operators going back to their regular 100 health. Dan is looking for any opportunity that he can find out of that kitchen window. He's actually going to take a hop out, not going to get any joy, not going to find anybody inside a pool entrance, because DWG Kia, they are looking to push in through the office side. They're breaching the wall now, but they've got Woogie Man downed outside and unlikely to be picked up at this point. 30 seconds left to go. I say that, but Courted, he's straight out there to get his teammate. Katsang on the cover. They've decided that they need the man. Joystick, however, shuts down Courted for his trouble. You got to feel for him. He gets out there. He gets his buddy back up, Des, and then he gets put down himself. But Look at what could have happened. Woogieman gets picked up, finds a kill. Katsang gets one as well. 2 versus 2, but with the plant needing to go down in 8 seconds, there's a lot of work for DWG here to do here. Woogieman able to get inside of the pool window, starts getting the diffuser down. It's an easy pickup for Dan to drop the diffuser, and Empire, they take the second round and level things up.
Well, he just threw himself out the window there as well and vaulted back in through the... So run out onto Hookah, vaulted out onto Sunrise window, jumped in and stopped the plant going down there. Unconventional, you might wager. Well, it wins round, so what's the problem to play forwards from there? A good round from DWG here, almost bringing things back, but Empire keeping themselves fluid enough. Small things like playing on the jammer, for example, to block away the DKB phone call. Very smart little bits of play. And we have a game in our hands, Ace. It's 1-1. I saw a meme on this on Twitter recently, actually. Someone said 2 things that go well together. Casters, and they've always got something on their hands, and it's a game underneath. You know the whole like handshake meme? It was just like, yeah, that's very true.
Very true.
And I thought, what else do we say?
We do have a game.
We have a game in our hands. What else do we say that's like really?
I mean, you very regularly giving me a bit of stick for all the things that I say. Des.
Edge of your seat.
Edge of my seat. Heart can't take this.
I've got to say it properly. I'm on the edge of my seat, Des.
Heart can't take this. That's another one.
Heart can't take it.
There was a post on Reddit at one point about me saying that. Somebody was like, an appreciation post. You know, Ace is causing himself some serious heart problems. He's always saying how his heart can't take it, but he keeps coming back for more, and it did make me laugh.
I would love to see someone just like draw an image of what they imagine you're like when casting. It'll be you hovering over your seat, clutching your chest with heart pain. It would just be a bloody nightmare.
Surrounded by laser.
Surrounded by laser gates.
Absolutely no doubt. Back we go into the game. Coastline round 3 is going to be a defense of Kitchen. Des is pointing at the screen.
So nice. Yeah, I'm pointing at the screen, and you know what that means? It means Des wants to talk. And Des wants to talk about that Kite Electro Claw. It's placed downstairs inside a kitchen, just tucked away in a corner enough that it hits both.
Oh.
That's what I mean. Look how tightly tucked in that is. That is beautiful. Now, we've seen some interesting things in Europe. We've seen G2 throw Electro Claws outside of the map and put it inside the weird like
just
bolts.
Get away with it.
On the screen now. People have seen that and spotted it out. This one, DWG here are going to have to look very, very closely. I hope they've been to Specsavers, because you ain't spotting that one easily.
I dare say, if you knew it was there, I'd have to check the angle. I think you could maybe get it from service entrance through the soft wall if it's not been reinforced. I dare say. Medics, do we think we've got a line of sight onto it? Do you know what I mean? Possibly. Above the bomb. If you've got it pinged out, it'd be a difficult one.
This sounds like a case for Detective Des and Private Ace.
It certainly does. We'll get into a custom game. We'll bring you the answer, don't you worry. But it's tucked away. It's very nice. And I've said it earlier in the day. I think I said it yesterday, actually. I'm loving the creativity that we're getting out of those Electroclaws. Now then, Scyther, he finds one onto Coated. That gives Empire the advantage. Nitro goes out. I think not going to have any joy. That's Dan burnt his, but still one on Shepard, still one on Joystick. Plenty of explosive options for Empire. They've had a good start here, Des. Halfway through. VIP wall still intact. Not looking bad.
That's really good for Empire, looking very comfortable. Dan might find a challenge coming in. The challenge is from a grenade. Dodge the flying objects. Keep hands and legs inside the vehicle at all times. Unfortunately, walks away with his life still in one piece. Down to about 90 HP. So not as good as it could be, but at least he's alive. Elsewhere around the map, it's Scyther finding Katsang, traded out a couple of seconds later by Rin. And now a challenge comes in. Dan, on the lower side of things, does find his kill, and with it, opens up an escape route through security. It's going to be all down to Woogie and Rin on the other side to make something happen. And even I'm not feeling particularly optimistic, to be honest with you, Ace.
Woogieman just taking a second there to hack the cams. Going to try and give DWG here any information that they can gain. As you say, 2 versus 3, they need every benefit, every little advantage that they can find for themselves here. Joystick's got himself locked inside of Sunrise. We are, of course, on a kitchen defense, don't forget, but that long angle, especially with the SMG, it's going to be possible for him to defend that. He does get droned out, though, so they're going to be aware of his presence, but with only 2 of them on side, it's difficult for DWG here to really, dedicate that manpower to going into Sunrise and clearing Joystick out here. They've got 25 seconds. They need to get into Kitchen, not Sunrise.
Yes, wrong side of the map, essentially, it feels like, right? And I want to say it was them. It could have been Sandbox that we saw this from yesterday, where there was a whole change in the style of attack so late in the round that it was like, how are you guys ever planning to get to the site with 10 seconds on the clock and a full map rotate coming through? Shepard dug a little bit deeper. It's Hail Mary here. Got to find your kill. Shepard almost going down. He can be patient as a saint here and wait all he likes. It's a very simple closeout. And it's the second time in as many days that I've seen, again, this kind of attack and this last second rotate really not going well. Sometimes it might just be the play to strong arm what you've got to work with. rather than completely changing it up.
I like that defense from Empire. I like the last 20-30 seconds whereby they knew they were at 3-2. Joystick went into Sunrise. I think it was Dan went into Blue Bar. They just really spread out and made it very difficult. And it's a smart play because, yes, you're giving up sight to the attackers, but with only 2 of them there, like I said, they don't have the time to be moving all the way around the map. They don't have time to go through office, pick up the kill in Blue Bar, pick up the kill in Sunrise before they go in and try to get that diffuser down. So they just have to play into the trap that you've laid for them. And that is exactly what happened. DWG Kia pushing directly into sight. Shepard was there to mop them up. Joystick supported. And Empire were able to close out round 3. Get themselves an advantage. 2-1 now.
It's beautiful stuff, isn't it? A nice spicy game is exactly what we wanted to see, and a nice spicy game is what we are getting. Not forgetting as well that these are 2 teams that we cast week in, week out. We cover, of course, EUL and APAC North. We see these 2 teams every single week and what they can deliver. And I would wager for both, they're kind of both in a similar position in their respective regions, where Empire, we wouldn't go as far as saying are the best team in Europe. Probably for DWG Kia, you wouldn't go as far as saying for Stage 3 they were the best team there either. That was Sandbox. They're almost playing second fiddle to the teams that are above them, but we've seen the promise that Empire could have at SI, that we saw from DWG Kia at Mexico, and that we are now seeing again here. It's almost that race to the finish line for both teams as to who can prove they are the magic makers in this group.
I'm really glad to see it from DWG Kia. You know that I'm a fan of DWG Kia. I've enjoyed watching
You're a Nightmare fan, you are.
I've enjoyed watching them in APAC North. They're just another, for the same reason as Furia, they're exciting to watch.
That was
moments like that. With moments like that where they just breeze past the drone hole and somehow manage to survive. But they are one of those teams that are fun to watch. Win or lose, it's enjoyable. And that's why I like DWG Kia. So seeing them go to Mexico, having a good performance, we weren't too surprised. We know they've done it before. But coming out here and doing arguably even better, it's great to see. It's great for the APAC region as well.
I like how we both just shut up as that played out. It was like, the expectation was like, go on, is he going to die to it? Go on. And then it was like, afterwards. As it stands, DJ going to be the point of ingress for DWG Kia, working their way up into Hall of Fame, and no doubt forward in towards Theatre and out towards VIP from here onwards, in which they've also opened a lovely square-shaped hole. Enough for them to start working their way through, and they can look to get VIP opened up here, opening up a wonderful cross-cutting angle from VIP all the way through into Billiards. It will reduce the amount of room that Empire have got to work with. You'll struggle to be able to run across there out of fear of someone watching that angle and catching you on a retreat or a rotate.
Well, that's it now. Empire really need to just play inside of hooker. They can't play anybody in behind small bar, where you would usually maybe play your smoke to try and impact on that default spot. It's all going to come down to Shepard in this position. They need to try and keep hold of it. DWG Kia not putting anybody on the hookah window yet. That would be an interesting location. Now they've got that VIP wall open, it starts to become very, very difficult, very claustrophobic inside a site if you have those 2 angles picked up. Rin going to throw in the long distance nade. Not as successful this time as last. I'm interested to see, Des, that DWG haven't sent anybody underneath. They know that Empire played there last time. They haven't bothered to send anybody underneath to clear them out this time.
They're never bothered, are they? They're unbothered, unfazed, flourishing.
They're in the lane.
In their lane, as I'm sure Fresh is at home right now. Hi, buddy, if you're watching. They're not bothered about those on the downstairs. They feel like they can deal with the threat. Now, I get very worried. This is for free. This is a free one. Go on, just pull it.
Do it.
Cypher. Thank you.
Why did he make us wait?
Oh, it's like it's a great performance. It's like going to a pantomime or something, right? They're just building up expectation, waiting for the crowd to go, he's behind you. In this case, it was, it's underneath you. Pull the trigger, god damn it, but does in the end. A couple of kills traded back elsewhere. The 4 versus 3 in at the 20-second mark. DWG Kia looking a little bit uncharacteristically slow, and it's starting to hurt the Mace.
Certainly is. Woogieman moving in. He knows that there's one underneath, but it's too late to deal with it. Des, the damage is done. 13 seconds left to go. There's an opportunity potentially for them to get the diffuser down, but Dan pops out and gets the kill onto Cool Vibes. Courted, he's going to try and do exactly that. Great cover from Katsang Des. He's got 2 of them. He's allowed his man to get the diffuser down. It's effectively 1 versus 1 now as Dan finds Katsang, but the damage is done. It all comes down to this. Smart move from Dan here. I like this. He's going to take the time to pick Joystick up, bring this back to a 2 versus 1. Courted's on the rotate. He's going for the repel, but they've just heard that. Here's the cover. Joystick's diffusing. Can he disable it? Yes, he can. They've got it. What a turnaround from Empire, Des.
I was enjoying your dance moves there, mate. I won't lie. You're playing Dance Dance Revolution, a bit of like forward, back, left, right, left. It was great. As was that. I'm not
a high score down, I think you'll find.
I'm not quite too sure about the upside down rappel on the window. That to me looks like a panicked key press. Like, exposing your whole body like that, a little bit strange, but you've got to give a massive shout out to Katsang as well. A big 2K on the window, did so much work for the boys. Coated sadly just couldn't quite deliver the goods when they were so required. Empire at 3-1. DWG Kia struggling to get that second elusive round on attack on the board.
Tough for them, that last round. They really did forge themselves an opportunity. 3 versus 3. Woogieman gets one downstairs. Gets shut down from Cool Vibe stairs. It was a heads-up play from, I think it was Dan who got the kill there. He just stepped out quickly, knew that the man would have to rotate somewhere, and the quickest way upstairs from Blue Bar is straight up Cool Vibe stairs. So he gets himself a nice kill, but as you say, Katsang just absolutely spun that round on its head and had such great cover for Coated. He had to get those 2 kills to enable that diffuser to go down. Unfortunately for him, the second one wasn't a kill. It was a down but not out onto Joystick. And then a smart play to pick Joystick up just allowed that cover to come in whilst the activated diffuser was disabled. Really nice retake from Empire. There was absolutely no panic in them.
It was composed.
Yeah, very much so.
I mean, look, we know Empire. We see them on camera a lot. They are some of the chillest guys you'll ever see. Just very focused on the task at hand. Very rarely a big flare-up of emotion on the negative or positive. They will be composed in situations like that. Dan's going for this again. Yas is the target. Do you hear shark music? Never mind. Dan's got back up on his feet, isn't hanging around anymore. Up above him, Rin's working his way in very quickly into VIP and looking to push his way forward to help clear out any players that may be hanging around inside of Aqua or towards Billiards. And once that top floor control is established, that's when the vertical work starts going on to get more control of Blue Bar and Sunrise.
Rin just spotting out the Wamai underneath there. Dan pretty much relocating, so not going to be in the world, but they will know the general area that he is playing in. Going to hold an angle for the time being onto that kitchen window. They don't want DWG Kia getting hold of that side. Now then, out comes the nade and clears out an awful lot of utility there from the default plant spot. Going to allow Hibana to get the wall.
Oh, Dan
with a big opener onto Yasto.
So casual, just sprints through. What quick one tap and a carrying on my way. Very comfortable. Well, the rest of DWG Kia, by the looks of it, are starting to engineer a push into pool entrance, get themselves through the wall. I think that was a smoke that just came out. I saw, no, it wasn't a smoke. What was it? I think it was a magnet, actually. I saw something get thrown, and I was like, what is that? Pretty sure it's a magnet. Shotgun blast from Rin to the face, or sort of shotgun blast from Shepard onto Rin into the face. Too many weird things to try and order there in that sentence. Not sure what was going on. Either way, a 5 versus 3 as they find yet another kill in the round. And it's these small little 1v1s around the map that are working against DWG Kia here. The composure not strictly in their favor. Coated one back onto Joystick. Let's see how the last 75 play out.
Still not really dealt with Cool Vibe stairs, though. We saw Woogieman sort of push it, but backed off. And we've got more attention being paid to that area from Katsang, but for the time being, Shepard is able to keep himself in that spot. Woogieman is going to open the window, and here goes Coated. He's got himself inside a sight now. Can they hold this down? The smoke goes in. Is it too deep? That's the question. Yes, it is. Coated able to get that down. Takes a chunk of damage. Shepard finds Katsang, and Empire are on the retake again, Des.
Oh, they're going to feel cheated by that one. It was so close. Must have been a couple of pixels away from being able to sting him out and bring him down. But that plan has been stuck. It is a 2 versus 3. Empire have the numbers advantage, but time is not on their side. Woogie finding one for himself. The down in front of his face finishes him off as well. Volts in. They've got to stop him getting away with that one, but Shepard sticks it through. They get the defuse off, a little bit too distracted by what was in front of them. Empire, another round goes their way. They're up to 4-1.
Nobody holds F quite like Shepard. Des gets in there, sees his opportunity, and there is nothing going to move him from completing that process. And it just goes to show, yes, this is an FPS. Yes, kills are very important, but the objective is just as much. So get in there, focus on it. It can win you the round in 7 seconds. And that's exactly what Shepard has recognised there. So much so now that DWG Kia coming out with that tactical pause. It's 4-1 after 5 rounds. They're getting beaten up a little bit here on Coastline, and they just need to try and take the foot off the gas.
I mentioned it's just a little small individual gunfights as well. Like 2 things they lost in a 1v1 there. Shepard on the stairs in the shotgun gunfight. The other one was, well, Dan just running past the window and firing a couple of bullets at it and killing someone, right? The 5 versus 3 suddenly completely transforms how things play out from there. But it looks like that tactical pause may be drawn a little bit short. We are basically straight back into the game by the looks of it. So let's get underway with a kitchen service defense and see if Empire have got some more magic to work for us. I do like how on DAMWON side we've seen a lot of decay. Reminds me of a conversation having back in our green room earlier on with Kinga, our wonderful talent manager.
Absolutely wonderful.
Honestly, she's an absolute darling. And she was like, I said to her, how many operators you know, Kinga? And she was like, not sure. I was like, can you name me 5? And she went through a list.
She got 6.
She did get 6. She got Maestro, Zofia, DKB, Hibana. Maverick. Remember the last one? Mute.
Ace. No, it was it.
And Ace. She got 7. Mute as well, so 7. So we've got to teach her 3 more to get her to 10.
I don't know if Ace counts though, because she has to use my name continuously as well. So that one's got to stick in your brain, Kinga, surely.
That is cheating a little bit. Yeah, we've got to teach her 3 more. So what should we go with? What does she need to know? I reckon smoke.
Thermite.
And of course you'd say thermite.
Everybody needs to know thermite.
Right, Kinga, smoke. That's always a good one to know. Thermite, because Ace is a thermite shell and won't be happy unless you know thermite.
Absolutely.
And what about Ash?
Nice and easy.
Ash is also very easy. Ash, smoke, and thermite.
There you go.
And in case you're watching Siege for the first time, you've just learned 3 new operator names. Congratulations.
Heading into round number 6 then with 30 seconds inside. Team Empire on their final defensive round here. It's going to be kitchen, and they, for the time being, are going to be trying to keep DAMWON Kia out of VIP. We've got some reinforcements and mute jammers to try and achieve just that. Now, interestingly, you can see that it's Kairos pellets going out there, and if you're wondering why, well, hang on, some of them are jammed, some of them are not. It's because of the recent change to how those mute jammers work. So it used to be a cylindrical area of effect. So basically, it'd go up and down that wall in a straight line, it'd cover the whole thing. Now it's a sphere, so imagine a ball where that mute jammer is at the center. It leaves areas at the top corners where you can still activate those electronic gadgets. They've taken full advantage of that. They've got the Kairos pellets up there. They've opened it up. They can now put some explosives in there to clear out the mute jammer. They can activate the rest of the pellets, try and get themselves through the wall. As it is, not going to matter too much. They've got the boots on the ground inside Hall of Fame. They can push into VIP. Top floor control pretty much in the hands of DAMWON Kia.
If I said to you, it's spherical, does that mean anything to you? No. Drake and Josh, you didn't watch it, never mind. Let's crack on with the round then. You can hear
about 15 years too old.
Come on, like, no one these days knows it, but you're too old for it.
Too old for that.
I don't understand, like, no one seems to have watched it. I'm really heartbroken about that.
Just you, Des.
Just me. The call comes out from Woogie as well, so they've got a bit more information on their side, and you can see the game plan is this penthouse and theatre setup. They've got the verticals being opened up. DAMWON Kia are very used to playing from above in this round as well. They've been dealing with, you know, members of Empire roaming on the downstairs when they were attacking into the top floor hookah and billiards. So both teams, I'd say, in their element here, in a comfortable position. For DAMWON Kia, with the verticals being opened up, though, they're just trying to force members of Empire off the site or away from it and force them into a retake position. It's a classic example of how this one plays out. And yet again, there's another 1 versus 1 coming in for DAMWON Kia.
DAMWON Kia just haven't been able to deal with cool vibe stairs in this game, Des.
Shotguns, mate. What can I say?
It's not
almost like they're built for close-range combat.
Never going to be an easy challenge onto a tight 180-degree angle like that. Joystick taking full advantage of it, finds the opener onto Woogieman and gets him down. Woogieman 5 kills to his name, leading the charge for DAMWON Kia here, so could not find a better start for Team Empire. Des, we're already at a point of 15 seconds remaining, and DAMWON Kia have made little progress towards the start here. Scyther just pops up there, always goes for quartered. It's falling apart very quickly here on the final attack for DAMWON Kia. Diffuser down, they can get a kill. It's going to be meaningless. The time ticks by. Empire win, and that is 5-1 on the half.
Well, that happened. That was
a thing.
Yeah. Honestly, after watching them play DAMWON Kia on this map yesterday, I really thought we'd see a stronger performance coming out on the attacking side. But we had much the same from Sandbox, who played Team 1 the game before this. They looked a mess on Coastline, but look back at their game earlier on today against Dark Zero. Completely different team. It's the wild thing about groups is teams can play on the same map twice in the same day. You get 2 very different experiences. A number of 1v1s being taken that just wasn't working for them. And even when, I mean, the funniest thing about that final gunfight for me from Rin playing in against Scyther is think back again to Mexico. Rin was doing that to people for fun. Walking around a corner, he'd kill 2 or 3 people without any knowledge they were there, and it was terrifying. In that case, Scyther had no idea Rin was coming and still wins the gunfight.
Does indeed. DWG then move on to their defensive half. They're going to be going to Hooker and Billiards to begin with. Primary site for most teams, no major surprises there. Are we going to see a shift in fortunes here for DWG as they move themselves onto the defense from the attack? We would expect the attacking team to have a reasonable time of things on coastline. I mean, you've got to be looking for a 3-3 at least, even, you know, if not taking a 4-2 half. So coming out 5-1 down, seriously not ideal. And Empire, they're the sort of team, Des, they've got themselves running now, they're active, they're in the map. Players like Joystick Dan, they're going to be a nightmare here on attack, I've just got a feeling.
I mean, I was just looking across at how the group stands after this as well. If Empire win this game, they go from 3 to 6 points. DAMWON are on 8. Furia are the ones who are really in hot water because they're down on 2. If they lose to Space Station now, things will get very, very dicey down there. We could have 3 teams, in that 6 to 8 point range. It's going to get things a little bit crazy. And speaking of which, Rin, up to his usual antics, brings down Dan for fun. A
big start for DWG there. Dan has been sort of finding his feet over the last couple of rounds, couple of big kills, and really getting himself involved. Ring gets caught out on the upside down rappel. Can I call it disrespect? I don't know. Joystick goes in.
No, it's style points.
Style points goes in. Man, it flips onto the Gon 6 to find that final kill. And that's going to leave us now 4 versus 4.
Beautiful stuff. Okay, it's a start. It's even out by Empire. So really, no overall loss for them. Their focus going to be on this east side of the map and clearing it out. We so normally see this on coastline when you're attacking into Hookah and Billiards, where the attack can just be Hookah, but very commonly you start inside a penthouse and theatre. You slowly sweep your way across the map, taking all control you can, and force members of DWG back onto site to then try and make an aqua plant work out for you on the south side of the map. Empire are slowly starting to work through this, but if we think back to a criticism that we have levied against them sometimes on attack throughout Stage 3 and EUL, it has been time. Both them and Virtus Pro, for some bizarre reason, the 2 Russian teams really not very good with the clock. Coastline, though, being a much smaller map, should mean that isn't as big an issue as it would normally be.
I'm going to say they're not looking too bad at the moment. They've got themselves established over on the east side of the map. They can start pushing across now. They've got Shepard up on that rooftop. He knows the man's there. Surely he just saw the movement there. The challenge is going to come in reverse, but absolutely not. Shepard shutting down Katsang from behind the bar, and that is another big piece in the puzzle for Team Empire, Des. They've got the man moved. The opportunity is now there for them to move in. Corted's going to waste his nitro. Nobody there at the moment. He's underneath. Empire are essentially 4v2 pushing onto site here. They've got a real opportunity to get that diffuser down. But Shepard's up on the roof.
And no C4s remaining either, is nothing to worry about here. They only had the 5 different gadgets being brought in this round means a little bit of limitation in terms of what you can do with stacking them. Nade coming through, well, guess what? There's ADSs and a shield still there. So no concern for the player holding at the top of Vaj. You've got Coated hanging on the downstairs. Woogie finds one back as here comes Shepard, rotating his way in towards Aqua. Again, it orchestrates exactly where that push is coming through, and blind sprays onto Woogie through the wall. Wall bang for fun at this point. A 3 versus 2 for Empire.
Beautiful there, and Shepard's now in position. Opportunity to get that diffuser down. That's exactly what he's going to do. You know he doesn't need asking twice. Yas, he goes rushing in, goes big, gets shut down. Yas is down but not out. Diffuser activated. It's not looking good for DWG. Corted's got it all to do. 1 versus 3. He's going to push through, see if he can start to find some kills. It's all he can do. Does he take the opportunity? Pick Yas up. He doesn't get the option, Des, as Joystick finds him with a nade. Also to do for Corted. 1 versus 3. Shepard up onto the rappel. Easy as 1, 2, 3. Finds that final kill after putting the diffuser down. Empire 6-1. Looking good on the attack as they did on defense.
Diffuser activated, DAMWON terminated. Cannot find a way into this game, it feels like. And even when you think, okay, there's a kill or 2 coming back, they're balancing the books a little bit here. Empire just step up and make magic happen. Let's not forget again, that was an entry kill coming in from DWG. They had the initial advantage, but unfortunately couldn't then hold on to it from that point forwards. Empire steamrolling their way through who we all thought to be our new Korean overlords. They're back into game and we're ready to set up in kitchen and service. And Catcan, you know what I love is like when we first saw the change coming out for Catcan where you can now stack multiple traps on a single doorway, many were like, no use in pro. You'll see it being employed in like casual and ranked, but you won't see it in pro. We've seen it
more than we've seen it in ranked.
Yeah, we've seen. I mean, we haven't played in ranked. We've been here and being busy, right? But think about, for example, the number of times. I think it was in game 1 on day 1. Rogue played on Bank, and 2 players at the same time ran into open area, and both died at the same time.
One of them was crying.
Yeah. I mean, they were both crying. They were dead.
They absolutely were. Round number 8. Beautiful, Des. Okay, he's for everybody at home. Obviously, you know you don't get the camera images of us stood here. Des was just stood here with the smuggest grin on his face.
I really wish at some point they'd just record the camera that you guys normally see us on. They'd just record a game and show back like highlights. Yeah. It'd be so funny. The stupid faces that I pull at you throughout a game, or the dance moves that you bust out, and I'm just stood here watching you with a slightly judgmental look, like I've gone on holiday, and a dad wearing shorts and a Hawaiian t-shirt, probably me, has got up on the dance machine and fancied to go.
And put down a high score. Right, back into game we go. 7 rounds in, we're in round 8. It's going to be Team Empire's first opportunity at a match point here. They can close this one out and get themselves seriously fighting their way towards the playoffs. It puts them within touching distance. It really does make it a lot more realistic for them to be able to fight it out. And oh boy, Des, what a day we're looking forward to tomorrow.
I said it earlier on, but I just think every single group stage you come out of a major with, or SI, it's a whirlwind. You come out with your hair messy, your shirt's torn to shreds, and you're just like, well, that was fun, weren't it? Can we do it again? It's like the maddest roller coaster ride you've ever been on. Every single time, groups never fail to disappoint me. There is always some spice, such as, you know, the prospect of all 4 North American teams going home. That's a pretty crazy one to think about.
In all honesty, you know, there's no way that you would have predicted that coming into it. And, you know, obviously we're always getting asked to predict things coming into these tournaments. Who do you think will do well? Who'll get through? Who'll go out? And it's so difficult. And it honestly gets more and more difficult every single tournament, because you come in and you think, yeah, you know, those teams are looking good. Like, I've been backing quite a few of the NA teams in the last couple of weeks. And obviously, you know, things have happened that have made that difficult for them. But also, some of the performances just haven't been at the level that we might expect. And then other teams like DAMWON Kia come in and really surprise us and start taking big results off of people, and that is the beauty of groups.
We all love a surprise, is the best way you can summarise that one. Anyway, we are well over halfway through this round now, and looking at how things are shaping up, no one's died early. There hasn't been the characteristic early aggression coming out of DAMWON Kia. The Jaeger being dropped away in favour of a Rooney, something a little bit more useful you might wager in places around the site, especially if you aren't expecting a big artillery dump to come through out of seemingly nowhere. Will help impede the attackers ever so slightly as well. So a slight game plan here to slow down the members of Empire when you consider that Smoke's on side, the Banshees are there, the Countdown traps are in place. Lots to slow them down. And well, Rin, doesn't matter what operator you stick him on, he wants to jump out a window at some point, and here he is, or was thinking about, readying himself for a jump out to look towards service entrance. Right now though, not the concern for Empire. It's using these last 35 seconds in a wise way and getting a good execute off.
I'm sure they would have hoped to have had a kill or two to the name by now before they have to start thinking about going in and getting that diffuser down coated. Just looking to hold them out of that sunrise to kitchen door always. Got a bit of an angle, but I don't know if Empire have just been a little bit passive here. They've got angles into sight and they've just tried to hold them and wait for DAMWON Kia to play into them. But Shepard, he's going to find an opener. However, traded straight away by Yas. Des, this is turning into a bloodbath, and Empire are coming out on top. Des, Katsang, he's got an absolute sliver of health left, a breath away from death. Yas shut down. No, DAMWON Kia still able to get the win. I picked up on the time, Des. I said that Empire had been a little bit too passive. They'd not been pushy enough about getting themselves towards site. They were holding an angle from security, holding an angle from courtyard, waiting for DAMWON Kia to move in to make that mistake, and DAMWON Kia didn't do it, and they just burnt too much time.
We mentioned it earlier on, although we haven't seen it so much this game, sometimes they are very slow, and that was one of those games I look at and just say they're very, very slow. We're going back into game, of course. I know you got baited. The glasses came out. I know. It's all good. We're back in game.
We are back in game. 6-2. 6-2, Team Empire. They are, to be honest, Team Empire aren't going to worry about that too much. They've got plenty of chances here to get this closed out. Famous last words. That'll get clipped when it goes to overtime. But Empire, they're going to move up to be attacking now onto Penthouse and Theatre. DAMWON Kia, can they hold down this site? It's obviously seen a couple of changes. I was going to say it's become much more viable since Castle's change and since the VIP.
Oh, look. They're putting the camera in jail again.
Imagine. So we've had the VIP change, we've had the Castle change, and since we've had those two, we've seen Penthouse and Theatre a lot more. We've seen it a lot more viable. Empire, I'm sure, are going to be looking to try and get supremacy from the double window, because it can be a real power position. If you can keep somebody on that rappel, you basically stop any defenders playing inside of Penthouse itself.
Is Yash just toying with me? Like, he made the punch holes, put the bulletproof in there, ran off to kill a drone, came back, went to put the laser gate down, took the bulletproof out, and has now moved it off. I'm like, bro,
it's all right.
what's the point? I don't understand.
He was changing his mind.
No, but he didn't, because as a team, they've still got one in there. They just could have said, Kota, can you go and put it in there, please?
But Kota's got other things to do. He's got
He's a busy man.
Up. He's thinking, I don't have time to get down there. These are many moving parts.
I know they are. It just feels... whatever. Okay. Fine.
It's like a quality watch. You know, it's real clockwork, Des.
Where'd you get that one from?
I don't know. I don't know where half of this stuff comes from.
You're noggin at some point.
I just look at this screen in front of me and I get excited and talk.
And some words happen and sometimes they sound remotely funny. Fair enough. Kota's still got one of his armor panels in back pocket that he's deploying now, I believe. There we go. They are all down. One of them playing off towards the south side, one in between the sites. Right, easy, we're playing this minigame. In fact, it's medics, isn't it? We're playing the minigame. Where are they? We've found two. We've got one on the white stairs, one in between sites. The others are missing. I imagine one's already been destroyed, to be completely fair with you anyway. One I think was on the double window looking out inside a penthouse, which has now been dealt with quickly and easily. The long-range angle's being held here behind shields as well, looking to give some strong contest into Hall of Fame and VIP. We spoke about it so many times, but this double reinforceable wall now inside of VIP has really changed the way this side plays out.
Certainly has done. Now then we can see them trying to... medics, you can't keep showing us the same castle barricade thinking that we're going to keep counting it.
Doesn't count.
Still one. That is still just one. Empire, they've got the wall open into VIP. They're going to be trying to use those angles, try and get some access. VIP is going to be very important for DAMWON here, Des, to try and hold this down. They've got a rotation into sight and what could potentially be a plant spot. If Empire get double window, joysticks on there now. Once they've got control over VIP and Hall of Fame, they're in a position to think about getting the plant down. So it is important for DAMWON to keep fighting from that 90 corridor.
Yas is the one on the downstairs looking to be a bit cheeky, but it's always elsewhere doing the business. Finding him a kill, and Yas wants to run out here, punches the window. Out comes the run, the flip over from Joystick. Doesn't find himself taken out, going to get back up on the roof as they know that area is no longer safe. Rin elsewhere will neutralize the damage that always brought to the field earlier on. It's a 4 versus 4.
Castle barricade is gone, utility being burnt away. DAMWON Kia sort of feel like they're sitting on a bit of a perilous ledge here. They might just be pushed over the edge as Empire finds a kill onto Dan. They're picking them apart just one at a time, Des. It's just like a puzzle, one piece removed after the other, and it just opens up the opportunity onto the next man. This time it's Woogie Man, gets chipped away at. Joystick finds him as well as Yas. Surely it's all over. It is indeed, as Joystick finds that final kill. Empire are certainly making their way into this tournament. That's more of an impact than we've seen them have so far, and it's an important win for them. It keeps them in the fight, and boy does it make Group D interesting.
It's like we say,